Hello everyone, good morning. Yes, everyone, very good morning to all of you. Am I audible, visible to all of you? Welcome to the platform of Unacademy, India's largest learning platform. Yes, boys and girls, very good morning to you. On this platform, we are going to provide you daily live classes, live tests, quiz, structure courses, and unlimited access with one subscription. How many people are there? Let me know. Okay, okay. Yes, I hope all of you downloaded the Unacademy app. Those who haven't downloaded the Unacademy app, please download the Unacademy app because the special classes and plus classes available only on the app. Yes, how many students are there? Yes, Nayan, Ankita, Pooja, Uma, Nilesh. Good morning. Yes, let me introduce myself. Those who are new here, my name is Harshvardhan Singh and I'm having 9 years experience in the field of civil services as an educator at Delhi, Pune and Nagpur. I completed my graduation as an engineer and later I completed my masters in economics. Earlier I was selected as an intelligence bureau officer, and those who want to connect with me, you can connect with me through my telegram channel at unacademy_harshv10, or you can connect with me through Unacademy app, that is Harshvardhan Singh for you. You can connect with me through other social media platform as well. Yes everyone, these are our top educators. Please do watch their videos, it will be more helpful in your preparation. I hope all of you subscribe to Unacademy. Those who haven't taken subscription of Unacademy, please have a subscription of Unacademy because your subscription made us possible to present such a wonderful lectures for you. Without your subscription, it is not possible. So we are going to provide you two options, plus as well as iconic. I insist you to have an iconic subscription because here we are going to provide you all the aspects of guidance, including personal feedback. Yes, everyone. So in the plus, we are going to provide you 1 month, 3 month, 6 month, 12 month, 24 and 36 month choices. So I insist you at least have a year subscription because within the year we are going to finish or you're going to cover your syllabus from different aspects. And yes, please use my code. Harshv10 is my code. You will get the 10% discount, and the plus subscription for a year it will cost around 44,550 only. Yes, and at the same time, if you want to take the iconic subscription for a year, it will cost around 62,550 after using my code HARSHV10. We are going to provide you the optional subscription as well. You can take the optional subscription with my code. Yes, and Unacademy Combat is there. Unacademy Combat is there on 31st of this month at 11 a.m. So please subscribe to it, and you know the format: 45 minutes, 60 question and 30 combats. Prices are also there. Prices are in front of you. And yes, from 25th also we are going to launch a new batches for 2021, 22 and 23 aspirants. You can have the look into it. These batches are available in Hindi, English and bilingual. According to your own convenience, you can join these batches. Yes, with help of one subscription, you will have the access with all. We're going to provide you the combo offer as well. Iconic subscription plus optional subscription, it will cost around 88,705 after using my code HARSHV10. Along with that, if you have the plus subscription of optional as well as GS, then you will get that 70,103 only. And yes, the last thing, that is 25th January onwards, we are going to increase the prices. So please have a subscription before it's late, because after that you have to pay more. These are my special classes available only on Unacademy app. Yes, earlier I had the session or series of world history as well as international relations. Currently my lecture series on modern India as well as economics is going on. Those who haven't watched the video, please, it is available on UPSC CSE English YouTube channel, as well as it is available on the app. There we discuss about the MCQs, then lectures. Along with that, one more important thing, we discuss the question related to means, how to deal with that and how you're going to write it. Yes everyone. Okay, good morning, Sri and Neha. Yes, everyone. So, quick recap of last lecture. In the last lecture, we discussed about how to measure the economy. Then we discussed about the terms like GDP. Then we discussed about the term NDP. Then we discussed about the term GNP, NNP. Yes. Then we discussed about one more thing, per capita income. Yes, Ashwini, good morning. So we mentioned GDP. G stand for gross. D, domestic, that is within country. And this P stands for total goods and services. Yes, this gross. Gross is basically without subtracting or without depreciation. And we mentioned what is depreciation, basically loss or anything, we never count it in that. So gross estimate we have mentioned. So GDP within the territory we mentioned, means whatever the foreign company is there, whatever the Indian company or anything is there, they are going to pay the taxes, and through this taxes GDP is there. Then we discuss about NDP. NDP, what is the formula of NDP? It is very simple, GDP minus losses. That losses is known as depreciation. Clear? It's very simple. That is net, means we mention about that whenever your parents are going to ask you how much percentage you are going to get, you always used to say 80, 90, 100, whatever it may be. जैसे मुंह में आपके आए वो बोल दिया आपने. So if you say that 80, 90, 20, at that time we never considered any human error. So such kind of errors present in your life, and when the results come out, you will get to know, okay, this much marks you're getting. That means 80, suppose you gross, so actual marks you're getting 75 or 70. What if you get 50% marks? What if the net is 50%? That means the problem is with you. You exaggerated yourself, because error is always plus minus 2 plus minus 5. That's okay. But it should not be the case that 50% error, 30% error, उसे error नहीं कहते. Clear? Next, GNP, gross national product. So the word national we discussed in the last lecture. National, it consists of within, means income from within the country, and income from outside the country. The outside means from any, and I mentioned the example that as Tata is earning in UK, Tata is earning in USA and all, whatever the incomes are coming from that area, it is known as income from outside. And this GNP, gross national product, when we are going to calculate the gross national product minus depreciation, that is GNP minus depreciation, it is known as NNP, and this NNP is known as national income. Yes. Then we discuss this term of per capita income. Per capita means per head income. So do you really think so that every Indian are having the same amount of income? Of course not. We cannot compare ourselves with India's richest person. Yes, but when we calculate the overall income of the Indian people, how much it is, so what we are going to do? We are going to take the net national product, that is national income, divided by total number of population. That will give you the amount of per capita income. Yes, yes, everyone, is that clear? Nayan, you are so fast. You want to discuss the economic survey and all. I think government has to publish the economic survey, and for that they have to present the budget. Yes. So first we are going to discuss the basic concepts of economics, because without that, understanding of economy is a impossible or next to impossible task for you. Yes, everyone. So we discussed this thing in the last lecture, but there were two, three terms left in the last lecture, and these terms were basically factor cost, market cost, Then we mentioned about the constant price and current price. So these terms were left. So whenever the term is there, that is per capita income at factor cost. So this word factor comes out of the word factory. Factory means what exactly? What is the factor cost? Factor cost is basically actual cost to produce the goods or services. Means once just bilkul means whatever the manufactured thing is there and it comes out of the factory, that is factor cost, means actual price of the production is known as factor cost. So here the subsidy is included. Whatever the subsidies are given to that particular company or that particular sector, it is included here. So what is the market cost? Means once that product is comes into market, that is known as market cost, and basically the prices prevailed in the market is known as market cost. So it included indirect taxes. It included indirect taxes like what? Right now we have GST. Do we have VAT? Yes, everyone. We mentioned the indirect taxes, but as I mentioned GST. But do we have VAT? Do we have state excise? Yes, boys and girls. Do you have these taxes present in Indian system? क्या लगता है आपको? Yes, what do you think? Yes, what's the name? Abhilesh. Abhilesh said no, there is no VAT. Okay, so is there state excise? Nothing. Good, very good. So that means you are telling me one thing, that is petrol and liquor comes under GST. Am I right? As it gets replaced by GST. Yes, yes, yes. So you said that it is replaced by GST. So can we say that petroleum products and liquor are the part of GST? Yes, really. Are you sure? Are you sure that petroleum and liquor are part of GST? Yes, you have to find it out what exactly it is. But I'm going to tell you that petroleum and liquor are not part of GST. GST is there for indirect taxes. One nation, one tax and all. We mentioned it. Yes, Abhilash, petroleum and liquor are not under into it. So that means if they are not under GST, then there should be some taxes. Am I right or wrong? There should be some taxes other than GST also. So whether VAT is present there, whether state excise is there, whether sales are there, so you have to find it out. Because nowadays, because once upon a time there was a message circulating everywhere in the India that petrol prices are this much in this particular country, petrol prices are this much country and all, and why we are paying more. So now the situation is the same, that we are paying more in the world, and the most important contribution why we are paying more, it is because the taxes included in that. How much taxes and all, you know it very well. Yes, so you have to know what type of taxes are included there, because UPSC is generally going to ask such type of question. Clear? So factor cost is clear to you. Factor cost is basically actual cost of production at the factory level or at the production place. It is known as actual cost or factor cost. What is market cost? Market cost is basically cost prevails in the market, and it included the indirect taxes as well. And here the subsidy is excluded. Here subsidy is not included in it. Yes, is that clear to you? Factor cost and market cost are clear. Next term is related to the prices, constant prices and current prices. Constant prices and current prices is having only difference, that is the impact of inflation. These constant prices are based on base year, and the current prices, the word itself mentioned, current means present prices. So that is we can consider as a MRP. Clear? Constant prices and current prices. Constant prices means generally government is going to announce the base year through which we can calculate the inflation of the particular country. Means for example, 5 years ago, if you are going to get any product for 10 rupees, so whether you are going to get the same product as the 10 rupees, if not, then for example 2020 2014, suppose if any particular product is of 10 rupees at that time, and in 2020 the same product is of 11 rupees, so we are going to get to know that okay, 1 rupees is increased in that. So this constant price is basically the price based on base year at that year, means whatever the base year is there, and current prices are basically MRP, and which gives us the indication of inflationary level, how inflation is increased or decreased. Yes, everyone, is that clear? These things are clear to you. Okay, yes. Now the next thing, planning. That actually the heading of this lecture is planning. So do you know there are many terms are associated with the planning? Yes, there are many terms associated with the planning. Whenever the planning is there, we know first 5-year plan, second 5-year plan, third 5-year, fourth 5-year, and recently there is no 5-year plan. But other than that also, these terms are important to understand the planning process. And the most important factor is we used to skip that portion. हमें लगता है फालतू है, ये क्या पढ़ना है, इससे पढ़ के कौन IAS बनने वाला है. And yes, we had that confidence and we ignore all these things, and we directly jumped into understand the process of planning. And then we are going to discuss the first 5-year plan and so on. But if you are following the same approach, then definitely you are not in a position to understand the economy. And if you're not in a position to understand the economy, it's not possible for you to write mains or to get the perfect answer for prelims. Yes, everyone? Yes, Ashwini said true. Whatever I am going to tell you, it is based on truth, because I love Gandhi, and Gandhi what said, you have to experience everything, and I did that. I had a first-hand experiences in such things, so that's why I am going to tell you, do not repeat such a mistake. I did. Why you want to repeat the same? Yes, everyone. So these are the terms for you: core plan, contingent plan, development plan, corrective plan, micro level plan, macro level plan, structural plan, functional plan, fixed period plan, rolling plan, centralized plan, decentralized plan, national plan, regional plan, imperative plan, and indicative plan. So many terms. How to remember? Only two options with you. The first and worst part is that you have to mug up. Yes, just रट्टाफिकेशन. रट्टा रट लो, बिल्कुल एक बार रट लो और जाओ. ये सबसे घटिया तरीका है. और दूसरा तरीका है जो थोड़ा मुश्किल लगता है, but it is really simple. First, you have to understand what exactly it is. If you have this capability, then these words are very simple, and throughout your life, you will understand it very well. There is no need to read it again and again and again. Clear? Yes, everyone. Clear? So, before mentioning the definition and everything, I just want to know, what do you think about this plan? What do you have any idea of core planning? What is core planning? Yes, everyone. Do you have any idea related to the core planning? Do you have any idea related to the structural planning? Yes? Yes, Abhilash. Exactly. Yes, do you have any idea related to core plan? What is core plan? What is structural plan? Rest terms are also there. Yes, anybody is having any idea? What is development plan? Or which type of planning approach India adopted in their planning process? Yes, everyone, do you have any idea or shall I explain? Yes, do you have any idea or shall I explain? हाँ, best thing, explain, explain. हाँ, तुम ही बताओ, I इसलिए हूँ. Yes, everyone, only one guy. Oh, oh, so much awaited to mention this thing. Explain, explain, explain. Yes, you all want one thing. You all want one thing. Explain it. Okay, yes, don't worry. I'm going to explain it to you, and I don't think so. After that, you will face any problem. So first, we are going to discuss about the core plan. What exactly the meaning of the core is? Basic inner side. Core plan is basically a specific planning approach under which priorities define. Yes, suppose this is any particular stone or anything else. This is the core area. Clear? So what exactly it is? What is core planning? It is a specific kind of plan approach. It's okay. Under which priorities are defined and whose implementation is imperative. Imperative means must. Whose implementation is imperative means core planning is the way of planning whose priorities are defined and implementation is imperative. So do you really think so Indian planning is having core plan approach? Yes, everyone. Do you think so that Indian planning process is having the aspect of core plan? Yes or no? Say something. Why your processor is so slow? Yes, Rudra mentioned something. Yes, India adopted the rolling plan in 80s. Okay. Yes, everyone, do you know where yes? Answer should be yes or no. Whether the core point or core plan is the approach adopted by India or Indian planning approach is there? Yes or no? Of course it is there. Yes, of course it is there. How can you mention how cannot? Don't you think so that India is basically having lack of resources? And when we have lack of resources, we have to determine the priorities because India was a developing country and we do not have sufficient resources. So what to do? We have to make some priorities and whose implementation is imperative most. So priorities area is like changing names. Yes. And whose implementation is imperative? Of course not. Maybe you can consider it, but it is not the case. That is, priorities areas are basically we have to define infrastructure, health, education, etc. These are those sectors whose implementation is imperative. Clear? So whether Indian planning process is having this approach? Yes, of course, Indian planning process is having this approach. Next, contingent plan. What is contingent plan? Here the non-core areas are determined. Means other than these core area, health, education, infrastructure, and others. Other than that, they are going to determine the non-core areas and whose implementation is subject to availability of resources. Neha, it was a joke. Yes, exactly. Yes, Ashwini. Core area, agriculture is there, industries are there, etc. There are many, as I mentioned. These are the areas or these are those sectors which are most important for development of the country. So first we have to provide the priorities to them. And here the non-core areas we are going to determine and the implementation of that is depend upon the availability of resources. So if after investing into core plan or after investing into these priority field, if money or amount is available, then we are going to implement. So can we consider the fields like art, culture, etc. can comes under this? Yes, everyone. Can these sectors are the part of it? Yes, can we consider the non-core areas is like one of the project working in India right now with the full pledge? Can we consider that part should be in the non-core areas? Yes, everyone. Now you get it. So can we consider that Indian planning process is having core plan approach as well as contingent plan approach? Yes, everyone. A very basic example of non-core areas. That means building a stadium. Yes, building a stadium or building any ambitious project which is not required, but it is a part of it. So if Evergreens, for example, America or any other country, they had the statues and all and all. Actually, America didn't invest that. France gave them. So yes, you have a right to introduce such things. But once you are going to fulfill the basic needs of the country and when amount is available, then you are going to invest in such area. That is known as non-core planning and the contingent plan is a part of it. So can we? Yes, museums also. Good, 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 good. So the core and contingent plans are the part of planning process in India for a long. Is that clear, everyone? Core plan and contingent plan clear? Next, next point. Developmental plan or development plan, of course the name itself suggests, aims at development of overall sector. Yes, that is important. In the development plan, development of overall sector like agriculture, industries, manufacturing, service sector and others, they all comes into it. Development of overall sectors of the economy, and the most important thing in developmental plan, it brings about the structural change in the economy. It brings about the structural change in the economy. So I hope all of you attended my world history lectures. That time I mentioned the one word, structural change, when we discussed the French Revolution. Do you remember? Yes, those who are my old students, those who joined me for this session as well. Do you remember we discussed the French Revolution and we mentioned this word, no structural changes? Yes, I hope you get the information or you get the meaning of structural changes. Those who are new here, I just want to tell you one thing. Structural change is the concept where the complete change is known as structural change. Now, for example, I just want to tell you with the example. Suppose this is a home. Suppose this is a home and you're going to build a building. Yes, first floor, second floor. After demolishing it, you're going to raise the tower or building. That is known as structural change. This was the old structure. This was the new structure. Can we consider that the any resemblance of old with the new? Of course not. That is known as structural changes. Complete change. So that is the development plan. Can we consider the Indian planning process in the beginning having the development plan approach? Yes, boys and girls. Can we consider Indian planning process in the beginning have the structural plan app or have the developmental plan approach? Can we? Yes, say something fast. Yes, how? Very simple. As you know that when Britishers left India at that time, they left only industry, that is textile industry. Basically, we can consider it as a consumer durable industry. But the most important challenge in front of us to build a new nation, the idea of new India. And this new India is going to build on new things. So we focused on agriculture sector, we focused on manufacturing sector, first 5 year plan, second 5 year plan, third 5 year plan. You will get to know that we established so much important project. Irrigation project is there, integrated steel plant is there. Along with that, the most important, we are going to change the system, tax system as well, because earlier during the British time, land revenue was an important source of income, but after independence we did not charge them so much. So this kind of structural change we introduced. Yes, Ashwini, we introduced the structural changes there because whatever the structure of economy during the British time, we do not continue the same thing, including the taxation, including the other aspects. And structural change, it doesn't mean demolition of old only, a completely new, whatever the Britishers legacy was there, we do not continue it because they left nothing for us. So initially, yes everyone, initially Indian 5 year plan was basically a developmental plan. And one more thing I just want to tell you here, that is this developmental plan approach is with the underdeveloped and developing countries. Ashwini, what we say, complete change, complete change, and yes, we have complete change in that because they have just only consumer durable industries. We established everything. Do you agree with me that we changed the tax structure? Land revenue was the most important form of revenue. Salt tax was the second most important part of revenue. So do we have salt taxes? Do we have the land revenue in the same manner as they were having? Yes, everyone. Now, is that clear to you? Okay. Next, corrective planning. Corrective plan is basically aims at correcting the sector. Yes, the word is aim at correcting the sector of the economy. Means, for example, if the agriculture sector is suffering, or any particular sector, means agriculture sector. If agriculture sector is not performing well and rest sector of the economy are performing well, so this corrective planning approach is basically to focus on that particular sector and to correct the whatever the errors or flaws are there. This planning is also known as a reformative planning, means introduction of reforms in that particular sector, so that that sector also can play the important role in the development of economy. Is that clear to you? Yes, everyone. Is that clear to you? Corrective planning is basically aims at correcting the sector of economy, particularly agriculture or industry or service sector, whatever it may be, particularly that. And it is having a reformative, it is also known as reformative planning. So don't you think so? Such kind of planning approach is basically followed by developed world. Yes. So such type of approach is generally followed by developed world because their all sectors are performing well. But if any particular sector is not performing well, then they can introduce such type of plan. Clear? Is that clear to all of you, boys and girls? देवी और सज्जनों, ये रहा अगला स्लाइड आपकी. Yes, everyone, this is the important thing in front of you, that is macro level planning. The word macro is of course a big, micro is small. So macro means planning at a big level. So this is the planning for all sector. The word itself, planning for all sectors of the economy. This is associated with underdeveloped and developing economy. This is also known as general plan. So can we consider, yes, can we consider, is this macro level plan is having plan approach of whatever you have studied just around? Do you know the name of any particular thing that we discussed, that all sector development associated with underdeveloped developing country? Do you remember which type of thing we have discussed just now? Which kind of planning approach? Macro level plan is basically planning for all sector of economy, and this is associated with underdeveloped and developing country. This is also known as general plan. So do you know the name? Which type of thing? Very simple here. Developmental plan over all sectors. development of overall sector. So can we say that macro level plan is having aspects of development plan? Yes. Can we say that? Yes, exactly. The macro level plan is basically a planning for all sector of the economy, and it is having the aspect of development plan. It is aspect of development plan. Clear? So what about this micro level planning? Yes, tell me the definition of micro level planning then. Macro is clear. Macro overall development of the sector. It is having developmental plan approach. Along with that, it is for underdeveloped and developing country, and this is known as general plan. Now tell me, what should be the definition of micro level planning? Yes, Ram Kumar, good morning. Hmm. What should be the definition for what should be the definition for micro level planning? Fast, fast exactly. Very simple. Why you are taking so much time? Anybody can tell. Yes, anybody can. Definite fine planning in particular sector. We just now mentioned. Here we mention corrective plan. It is a correcting the sector of economy. It is the same as the micro is having development plan. It is having the approach of corrective plan. It is the approach of corrective plan. It is related to particular sector of economy. Yes, and this plan is basically associated with developed world. Yes, of course, some aspect of core plan are there, but core plan you want basically what we can say mixing the concept. Core plan is basically what exactly? It is basically defining the goals and the priority areas and whose completion is based on priority basis, that is must. That is a different plan approach. Yes, and because these planning approach are there, they are interlinked with each other. They are interlinked with each other. But core planning is a process whose implementation is imperative and priorities are defined. Micro level plan is basically development plan, and it is whether we have mentioned his the implementation of macro plan is imperative in nature. Can we mention? Whether we mention? Of course not. So maybe the core plan is a planning approach of different time. Micro level plan is a planning for all sectors of the economy. All sectors. Yes, Uma, rules and responsibility of all individual. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Micro level plan is for all sector. This is for particular sector. How can you behave like this? Yes, everyone, it's very simple. Whatever the macro, you have to just reverse it in micro. It is a corrective plan, particular sector is there, and this is related to developing world. That's it. Sorry, this is related to developed world. That's it. Next, structural plan. We already discussed this. A plan which brings about the changes in basic structure of the economy. Yes, Ashwini, now your doubts are going to clear with this definition. Structural plan, a plan which brings about the changes in the basic structure of economy. That is structural plan. And what is functional plan? It introduced within the within broad framework of economy and which does not bring about any changes in the economy. So in normal words, we can mention the structural changes means basically we have give the example that is destruction of home and particularly erecting a tower instead of that. And what is the functional plan? Functional plan is basically renovation in your home. Get it? Yes, the structural plan, complete change in the basic structure of the economy, and functional plan is basically changes introduced within the broad framework of the economy and which does not bring a changes in economy. Yes, everyone, is that clear? This concept of structural plan and functional plan is clear to you? Good. Next thing, fixed plan or fixed period plan. So of course the name itself suggests fixed, that is time duration of plan is fixed. So fixed plan, it is planned to formulate for a fixed period and it have two types. One is a prospective, another is perspective. This prospective is basically a short-term plan. And what is short-term? Of course, any plan which is below 5 years or up to 5 years is known as a short-term. And the perspective plan is basically for long-term and is beyond 5-year plan. Okay, okay. Okay, Neha and Ashwini ask one example related to functional plan. Functional plan definition is clear, broad framework of the economy which does not bring any changes in the economy. Introduced changes. Yeah, I ate one word, it introduced within the broad framework of economy. Yes. Means for example, I just want to tell you one thing. Nowadays, India is having achieved the stage of functional plan. For example, mm, agriculture sector is suffering in Indian economy. Yes, agriculture sector or industrial sector. At present, both sectors are suffering. Industrial sector is the most suffering. So government are going to introduce some changes. For example, tax holiday for them or bailout package. So whether introduction of tax holidays or bailout package is going to bring the change in the economy? Of course not. It is just a corrective measures. Yes, it is just a corrective measure which can take the action and which bring the sector in the normal level. Because if these sectors, agriculture sectors or industrial sector are going to suffer, then Indian economy is going to suffer. So that is clear for functional plan. And basically we are mentioning the functional plan is basically related with the developed world, not for developing countries or underdeveloped countries. Clear? Means for example, USA is the best example of developed world. In USA, if particular sector is not working well or some problem is there, they are going to introduce such bailout packages which does not bring the change in the economy. I hope It's clear to you? Yes, everyone, is that clear to you? Structural plan, functional plan is okay. So fixed period plan is basically it is the planning process for a particular time. Period is fixed, duration is fixed. It is having two aspects: prospective for short term, perspective for long term. Prospective is basically below 5 years and perspective is basically beyond 5 years. So rolling plan is basically rolling, keep rolling. Means if you're not going to fulfill any target within that particular time, then you're going to again continue that thing in the next plan. So continuous exercise, yes, it is a continuous exercise in which unfulfilled targets transferred to the succeeding years. And yes, India also adopted this thing. For example, there are many projects India introduced. For example, Pulse Polio program or any poverty eradication program. Such kind of programs we introduced for a long time, but still it was not eradicated poverty. Even for after a long time of struggle, India was in position to eradicate polio. They ended the polio farming. So such type of targets we used to fix. Means one more thing, that is India set the target by 2022 they are going to double the farmer income. Along with that, once upon time there was Jawaharlal Nehru non-renewable energy mission kind of that thing, and they said that India are going to fulfill this target. So it is not possible to fulfill that target. So basically that target is comes under rolling plan. If it is not fulfilled in this particular period, planning period or time period, they are going to introduce in the next. Is that clear? Rolling plan. And Indian planning process adopted this approach in recent time. Yes, yes, everyone, is that clear? Next is centralized plan and decentralized plan. Centralized plan is basically, of course, formulated at center and implemented from above at central level. There is no people participation. And decentralized plan, of course, it is formulated at local level and implemented at the local level. So can we consider it as a people's plan? So can we consider it as a people participation or participatory plan? And we can consider the village level plan or are known PRI, Panchayat Raj Institution level plan are part of it. Yes, everyone, can we consider it as a part of it? Yes, exactly. The decentralized planning process is an important aspect. Yes, and in India we are going to follow it at local self-government level. Centralized plan, we adopted the centralized plan approach since the beginning of planning process, and we believed in the trickle down effect. What is trickle down effect? We are going to discuss in the next session, don't worry. So centralized plan, we believed in this thing for a long time, but after that we realized this trickle down effect is not going to work well, so India focused on decentralized plan as well. So regional plan is another important definition. Regional plan is basically umbrella term, and this umbrella term constitutes the different it constitutes different types of plan. It constitutes different types of just a moment. Okay. It is an umbrella term and it constitutes the different types of plan. For example, metropolitan plan, tribal area development plan, backward development plan, interstate plan, etc. Yes, everyone. So this is the definition of a regional plan. Okay, is that clear to you? Is that clear to you? That is central plan, decentralized plan is clear, and regional plan is also clear. There are three, four definition more which we are going to discuss in the next session. I hope all whatever the doubts or whatever the information I am going to provide you, it is all clear. The doubts are clear. Yes, everyone. So please meet me at 12:15 today only. Yes, everyone. So that's all from my side. Thank you very much for your valuable time. If you like the video, please like it, share it, subscribe it, and for further details of it, it will be available on Unacademy app, and please subscribe to Unacademy. Yes, everyone. If you like the video, like, share, subscribe, and please follow me on Unacademy app, or you can follow me through my Telegram channel, and you can write your reviews and dedicate hats if you like the lecture. Yes, that's all from my side. Thank you very much for your valuable time. Have a good day, great day. See you in 15.